Believe me when I tell you, I never get sick.
I was as sick as a sick dog with a cold. Yeah, I get sick too.
I said, Lord, now I've got a lot of information now. Show me the secret. What is the secret of kingdom prosperity? I went for 3 days in a fast. How many days? 3 days. There are things you can't find except you are in a fast. Prayer and fasting is no factor for prosperity. It's no factor. It's no factor. Now, can I tell you what the Lord told me before I close? In that awesome encounter, God said to me, my son David, my prosperity plan is not a promise. So it does not answer to prayers. He said, my prosperity plan is not a promise. It has no respect for fasting.
You are welcome, my good friends, to another time out on the Speaking Bible. Today we are looking at some men of God who spoke from the two sides of the mouth. That is, they said one thing, but in another breath contradicted what they said before. Some were non-apologetic, but others said it was a slip of the tongue. Right away, at number one is Pastor Benny Hinn, who told his congregation that he can never get sick.
Believe me when I tell you, I never get sick.
But in another breath, said he can be sick as hell.
You know what happened to me one day? I'm going to tell you. I was as sick as a sick dog with a cold. Yeah, I get sick too.
The question is, how is it possible for someone who cannot get sick to become sick as hell? Your guess is as good as mine. At number two is Bishop David Oyedepo, who said he asked God to show him the secret of kingdom prosperity by going on a 3 days fast. He even said, there are things you cannot find except you are in a fast.
I consumed all the materials of Kenneth Copeland. And when I wasn't finding what I think I needed, because when I find it, I will know. If you are looking for your phone and you find it, won't you know? Yes. I said, Lord, now I've got a lot of information now. Show me the secret. What is the secret of kingdom prosperity? I went for 3 days in a fast. How many days? 3 days. Can't you just be soaking garri and eating bread and taking biscuit all your days and you want to find something? There are things you can't find except you are in a fast. When I found it, I stood up and screamed, yay! I can never be poor.
But in another breath, he said that prayer and fasting are no factors for prosperity.
Prayer and fasting is no factor for prosperity. It's no factor. It's no factor. Now, can I tell you what the Lord told me before I close? In that awesome encounter, God said to me, my son David, my prosperity plan is not a promise. So it does not answer to prayers. He said, my prosperity plan is not a promise. It has no respect for fasting. Verbatim from God. Verbatim. When the hand of God came upon me in that room, verbatim.
The question is, how come prayer and fasting are no longer factors for prosperity? When it was through prayer and fasting, he was shown his own secret to kingdom prosperity. Next is Apostle Johnson Suleiman, who said he prayed for COVID not to end because he was making much money and enjoying himself.
In COVID, I bought a jet. In COVID. The third, I have three. The third one. In COVID. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they said, somebody says it true. I said it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know. I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
But in another twist, he said he did not mean it, that it was just a slip of his tongue.
The wickedness of this life is not far away. It's among your folks. The enemy of a doctor is a doctor. The enemy of an evangelist is an evangelist. The enemy of a pastor is a pastor. Look at me. Let me say something. There's a video going around. There's a video that's trending about me. It was posted by a pastor. A pastor posted that against me. Now, listen to this. It was a program I had in Abuja. And I was trying to explain something about COVID-19. And when they told me, they said, you said you prayed for COVID not to end. I said, me? I didn't say that. When they brought the video, I discovered it slipped out of my mouth. There's no pastor that will pray for COVID not to end. It doesn't make sense. When I was praying in the studio, but I was talking about what happened around COVID, how families were staying together, how families united, how some people even made money during that process. And that's what I was trying to buttress. Okay? And it slipped out of my mouth.
But the question is, when he discovered the slip of tongue in that sermon he preached, why did he not come out with a rebuttal to set the record straight before the backlash started? Or is he telling us that he is too busy to watch the sermons he preaches? Finally, we are looking at Pastor Tunde Bakare, who said he got it on divine authority that he is the 16th president of Nigeria after Buhari. That God told him he has been preparing him for the task of becoming the president of Nigeria for the past 30 years, and that nothing can change it.
Take it to the mountaintop. If you have never heard it before, I'm saying it to you this morning. In the scheme of things, as far as politics of Nigeria is concerned, President Muhammadu Buhari is number 15, and yours sincerely, I'm number 16. I've never said that to you before. I never said that to you before. I make it plain this morning. I let you know it this morning. Nothing can change it. In the name of Jesus, he is number 15. I am number 60. To this end was I born, and for this purpose came I into the world. I prepared you for this for more than 30 years. That's why if he wants to run in 2019, I do not oppose. He's still number 15. It's when he steps out that I step in. His assignment is that of Moses to take Nigeria to River Jordan, but he can't cross it. He will take a Joshua to go to the other side and begin to distribute resources to the people of this nation.
But after the APC primaries, when he got 0 votes, he said he is wearing his 0 votes as a badge of honor.
I remain convinced now more than ever that the course to serve our beloved nation Nigeria has been a worthy adventure for a worthy cause. For us, the mean has always been as important as the end. This is why we confidently wear our 0 votes as a badge of zero tolerance for a certain kind of vote. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., it is my earnest prayer that the good Lord will bless Nigeria with leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice, not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. Leaders who can subject their particular egos to the present urgencies of the great cause of freedom.
But when the backlash continued, he has this to say.
Can someone tell these people that scoring zero in a primary election with one's true identity and integrity intact, as well as having original credentials from all well-known schools, primary, secondary, colleges, university, within and outside of this nation, is a veritable badge of honor, absolutely legit and unquestionable. Please tell them that in the words of Michel de Montaigne, there are some defeats more triumphant than victories.
The question that is begging for answer is this: what happened to the divine mandate of him becoming the 16th president after Buhari? A mandate, he said, cannot change. A mandate that cannot fail, but has inevitably changed and has inevitably failed. Because on the seat today is the 16th president of Nigeria, be it by hook or crook, be it by omission or commission, there's a 16th president. So the question in many people's heart, in many people's mind is, what went wrong? The fact is that one thing surely went wrong, and that is, he thought he heard from God, but all the while he was hearing from himself. And that is what Pastor Benny Hinn buttressed here.
The two things I regret most in ministry: I was not too wise a number of times with prophecy. There were times when I thought God had showed me something that he wasn't showing me, and I spoke it out. But in 1 Corinthians 13, we see very clearly that we all prophesy in part. That means we don't see the full picture. And sadly, and I wish I can go back and fix it, but sadly, there were some prophecies I gave that were not accurate or from the Lord. But who's perfect? And for that, of course, I ask people to forgive me. I'm just human and made mistakes like that.
And that exactly is what is happening to majority of the men of God that said they hear from God and it will not come to pass. Thank you very much for watching. Endeavor to subscribe if you have not done so. Like, click the notification, and share.